Okay, this is going to be a really short video, guys, looking at the skeletal system. You just need to put a title in your book of the skeletal system. It's only going to be short because we're going to go into it obviously in a bit more depth, but it's just a little bit of a background understanding so you've got some basic notes in your book. So we'll probably look at the skeletal system in Monday's lesson. Thursday's lesson we're going to look at muscles, then bring it all together following Monday and sort of link everything back into itself like we did in today's lesson with principles of training and fitness and things like that. Okay, so, what does a skeleton do? There's 5 main functions of the skeleton. Alright, so obviously it helps protect us, gives us shape, movement, blood production, and it helps store minerals. Alright, the worst case scenario you'll only maybe get a question saying name 2 roles that the skeleton does, and all you'll need to do will be a 2-mark question, and you just need to discuss one of them, 2 of them that that there actually is. You won't really need to know all 5. You just need to maybe focus in on 2 or 3 and just make sure you know what it actually does. So you just need to copy these down, guys. So obviously it helps to protect, alright, vital organs. So like you've got your rib cage that helps protect your heart and your lungs. You've got your skull that helps protect your brain as well. Shape, obviously it gives the body our shape. Because obviously if we didn't have a skeleton, we'd just be bones on the floor. Not bones, sorry, just a pile of muscle on the floor. And it obviously leads to our posture as well, depending on the shape of your skeleton. Movement helps us to allow movement, okay, provides muscles with somewhere to attach, alright, which then creates our movements, so they're both linking together. And it allows different movements depending on the different joints, because obviously joints in the body are different. Okay, so it depends on which sort of range of movement we're allowed. Helps with blood production. Okay, so obviously within the bones, red blood cells and white blood cells are produced. So red blood cells help carry oxygenated and deoxygenated blood around the body. White blood cells help to fight off disease and are part of the immune system. And the final one is minerals. All right, minerals are stored within bones, which keep us healthy. So things like calcium and that, all stored within the bones. So all you need to do, guys, like I said, there's not a lot there. You just need to get a little basic sentence down for each one of them. Okay, there's 3 types of joints within the body. Okay, so it's fixed. They don't allow any movement. Real tough, real rigid. All right, and there's a real tough tissue between at the end of the bones. Okay, they're slightly movable. These joints allow a little bit of movement, but not a lot, as it's obviously within the name of itself. And again, freely movable, which are known as synovial, which is a fluid that's in the joint that sort of lubricates the joint and allows that movement. This is the most common joint and allows a wide range of movement. Okay, so again, you might just get asked the type of joints that there are, and this links in again to the next section as well, because these are types of joint we're going to go on to. But they're sort of your classification of joints where they slot under. So again, you need them down. Can you link in body parts to them? So where do you think there might be a freely movable joint, a slightly movable, and a fixed joint? Okay, so if you come with some lesson with some ideas of them, that'd be brilliant. So we've also got types of joint. Okay, you don't need to know all of them, but we're just going to cover 4 really quickly now. So you've got your hinge joint, allows one plane of movement. Okay, so it only goes in one sort of way. Very similar, if you imagine like a set of hinges on a door, you can only move a door sort of in one motion and one movement. You can't suddenly lift a door up towards the sky because you've got your hinges on there, which are restricting your amount of movement. Okay, you've got your pivot joint, only allows rotation, doesn't do anything else. Okay, and that's the only thing it really does. You've got your gliding joints, 2 surfaces going over each other and permit movement in most directions. So if you imagine like your wrist or your fingers, which allow you movement in they're that similar type of joint to that. And you've got ball and socket, probably the one that you know about already, allows a wide range of movements and occurs when the round head of a bone fits into a cup shape. So if you imagine clenching your fist and wrapping your other hand around that, that's the sort of what the joint actually looks like. Okay, again, you don't need to know more, but the exam might say, use one. Please explain what a ball and socket joint is and where it can be found. So one of your tasks, again, like on the previous slide, is to find out where these joints might be on the body and to come with some ideas of where you think they are. So again, you can pause the video and just have a think of some ideas and jot some down. And your final task, guys, is to have a look at this skeleton, jot some of the bones down that you know. You don't have to go on the internet and research every single one of them. It's just a basic thing just to see what you guys actually know already. Alright, so you don't need to trace it or anything like that. If you just write down where you think the bone is, we're going to put a big picture of this up on the board. And we're going to try and label as many of them as we can in the start of the lesson next week. Okay, so just think about any of the bones that you might know. You might have covered them in science. Just think where they are, and we'll go through them in the lesson on Monday. Alright, like I say, it's just a really quick PowerPoint. It's just a basic sort of little bit of note taking. The savers do it in the lesson. Alright, and we're going to go through everything in a lot more detail in the lesson with some activities. Okay, so thank you very much, gents.